Are you a cannabis company looking for an unrestricted, uncensored way to advertise your brand? With PodConx, you can promote your brand on over 40 independent cannabis podcasts for as little as $1,000 per campaign. Just set your budget, provide your script, and PodConx will produce your commercial and have it playing in less than 3 days. Go to podconx/advertise.com to get started today.
Help other people accomplish their dreams, whatever those dreams are, whether they're financial or whether it's more time with your family or energy or just, overall happiness. These principles from Napoleon Hill have already helped hundreds of millions of people, and you may not have even heard of them, or you've kind of heard of Think and Grow Rich, but you didn't read it. And there's so many more books and so much more that they figured out. They figured this stuff out in the 1920s and 30s.
Welcome to the Miracle Plant Podcast, the show that inspires, promotes, and gives you a daily dose of inspiration from the people who have used cannabis to change their lives in extraordinary ways. Here's your host, Justin Benton.
Welcome back to the Miracle Plant Podcast, where we discuss this miracle plant with so many names and how it's helping people in so many ways. Well, today I want to give you guys an update. Look, there's been so much going on behind the scenes that I haven't really just had a chance to talk about. We've had so many exciting guests and topics and research and everything that's been coming out. I just wanted to give you kind of a peek behind the scenes as to what's really going on with all this exciting news. In fact, I just got back from traveling all over the country. First off, I got to meet with a bunch of wonderful holistic healers and chiropractors and entrepreneurs out of Dr Fab Mancini's Inner Circle meeting in beautiful Miami, Florida, in the Four Seasons. And I got to really talk to them about not only our story and this miracle plant and how everything's happened for us, but how I could best serve them. And what we discovered is we're going to help them with some marketing. And I know on here you've heard us talk before about effortless traffic and convert high ticket. And there's other things that we're really, because we had to understand this brand new world that we were all living in post-COVID, because now the entire country and the world primarily shop online. And that was sped up because there's so many of us were, forced to stay home and had to push through whatever was holding us back to now shopping and getting our groceries online and using Grubhub and obviously Amazon and this new world. So if you want to spread your mission or have the impact or drive revenue, you have to be playing online primarily. That has to be the driving focus. And so that's what I spoke to them about. We have a whole bunch of great meetings that we're going to be having this week, and then continuing to help with like those challenges and virtual events. We have an evergreen challenge that we set up for ScaleMyHealthBusiness.com with Dr. Fab, and we introduced that to everybody now that is live and running. And we're just so excited to be able to align with these holistic healers. Obviously, we've done some amazing products and formulations, and they're selling and using our Miracle Plant and 101 hemp products in their practices to help with, specifically, we've really been focusing on neuropathy. But as those of you that have listened to the podcast for years know, this Miracle Plant helps with a lot of things. Pain and inflammation just seems to be the most just black and white. You're either in pain and you're out of pain. You take something, you rub it on your skin, or you take it under the tongue, and the pain goes drastically down or is eliminated. That's just black and white evidence for you. And so that's what we were doing on Friday as we were out there in Miami. And then I had such a really exciting thing. As many as you know, I am in the Russell Brunson's Inner Circle. It's a mastermind, which was founded by, masterminds were founded by this guy named Napoleon Hill. And if that name rings a bell, that's because Napoleon Hill wrote the most famous personal development book of all time, in the hundreds of millions of copies sold, called Think and Grow Rich. And working with Russell and being a part of his mastermind to understand these new online marketing philosophies and principles and things that we had to solve for us to reach 1 billion people by 2025. These are the things that we've been working on, and his expert tutelage and him being my mentor for online sales really allowed us to transition what we had to, instead of going from more physical stores to going to more online presence with social media and working with influencers. And how do you do that is by you joining these masterminds. And these masterminds are where you get a collection of entrepreneurs together, and we try to start helping each other's business, sharing wins, sharing things that we tried that worked. And then it's like you have like 50 or 100 business partners that all they're trying to do is help each other with no ulterior motives. We're just trying to be in this community or this mastermind. Well, Napoleon Hill is the one who started all these things back with Henry Ford. This was back in like the 1930s. Andrew Carnegie, there was Edison, all these huge names that you know about, and they would meet and they would help each other with their own businesses. And there's a phrase which is 1 + 1 = 11, because when you put yourself in a room with all these brilliant people, you can get all these brilliant ideas to come together and help solve some of the problems that might feel overwhelming to you or you don't have a lot of experience, but someone in that mastermind has already solved it, has already gone through the pitfalls and the mistakes, and has either a way to do it or a company that you can call or a direct referral that can help you with that specific thing, whether it's marketing or hiring or accounting, whatever that thing, that sticky point, that bottleneck is. And many times it is just about mindset. When you get into these rooms of very successful people that you're pushing and scaling their missions and their businesses, their mindset is further down the road perhaps than yours, but they always say you're the sum of the 5 people you hang around the most. So if you're hanging around people that are really successful and they look at things in a certain way and they're really pushing through mental barriers and self-limiting beliefs, that absolutely rubs off on you. And then your visions, your perspectives change. So what you might think would be a big deal if you were to help 1,000 people in a month, well, they're showing you how they were helping millions of people in a year. And so when you can see other people succeeding and asking them, well, how did you do that? And how did you do this? You can immediately apply those things to your business. Now, the reason I tell you this was because on Saturday, I flew out to meet with the CEO, Don Green, of the Napoleon Hill Foundation. Napoleon Hill passed away in 1970, and then they set up a foundation to continue the legacy and the books. He wrote many, many successful books. Think and Grow Rich is the most popular one. And we were out there, Russell Brunson and myself. Actually, I flew out by myself, but it's mostly, Russell's my partner and business, partner with this particular project. We are doing some very, very exciting things. Now, look, the ink isn't dried yet, so I can't get into too many specifics, but we have some incredible projects that are coming up that are going to affect millions and millions and millions of people, and helping them understand these proven success principles from Napoleon Hill. And like I said, I can't talk too much more about it. I can say that there's going to be a library that I'm helping Russell Brunson put together. And more than that, I can't probably say much more than that. But it's, let's just say, this whole new virtual world and the way we consume information, it's going to be that way. So any way that you think of how we consume information in this new world, we're going to be doing some incredible projects with Napoleon Hill Foundation. So we're just so excited to be a part of this, to help other people accomplish their dreams, whatever those dreams are, whether they're financial or whether it's more time with your family or energy or just, overall happiness. These principles from Napoleon Hill have already helped hundreds of millions of people, and you may not have even heard of them, or you've kind of heard of Think and Grow Rich, but maybe you didn't read it. And there's so many more books and so much more that they figured out. They figured this stuff out in the 1920s and 30s. And it's kind of like that movie that a lot of us saw, which is called The Secret. This is a lot of what's in there. It teaches you these mindset. You have to take action, right? You have to apply these things that you're learning. And again, Masterminds has been an absolute game changer for us and our mission. It's just been an incredible journey to get to actually meet with the foundation and see some of the original writings and manuscripts of the man who was a part of the first mastermind with Napoleon Hill.
The North America legal cannabis market is expected to reach $32 billion by 2028. Unfortunately, recent cannabis stock market volatility has made it difficult for many investors to find opportunities to participate. Pure Verde Cannabis is in position to become the leader in the pharmaceutical cannabis movement through technology, innovation, and growth. As one of Oklahoma's top private label manufacturers, Pure Verde is seeking investors to help them bring their A-game business model to other states. To learn more about investing in Pure Verde, their 13 private label brands, and the advantage of being located in Oklahoma, go to pureverdecannabis.com/investors. This is not financial advice, so before making any investment purchase, we strongly recommend that you consult with your financial or investment advisor.
I wanted to give you guys an update on what's been going on. A lot of different projects that we've been putting together. We've got our huge Funnel Hacking Live, which is an in-person event in Orlando, Florida, that Russell Brunson and ClickFunnels is putting on. And we've got some really cool projects there that I can't talk about yet either until afterwards, but we're doing some amazing things there. I can tell you, I'll let this cat out of the bag. I think we're good on this one. I'm actually writing a book, publishing a book with Russell Brunson, and it has to do with masterminds. And we've gotten 21 chapters written. It's been sent off to the publishers and the editors for final tweaks, and we're going to be I'm going to be publishing a book with Russell Brunson. He's already a New York Times bestseller, and he has affected our business with his marketing so much that it was just such an honor when I proposed us coming together and writing a book about masterminds, specifically his mastermind, the Inner Circle. And he said yes. He's been so thrilled by it, and I just can't wait for you to check it out. So be tuned in. We're thinking next month, maybe the month after that, it'll be able to hit bookshelves, and you'll be able to have access to it in the physical book and online as well, and eventually even as on Audible, because I know if you're a podcast listener, you probably like to listen to things on Audible like me, and so we'll have it in all three formats for you. So there you have it. That's a little bit of what's going on. I wish I could give you more details, but like I said, there's contracts and there's things that are still in place that have not, the ink is not dried yet. And so, but this is what I've been up to on top of everything else, is really just pushing forward and aligning with holistic healers like the chiropractors and Dr. Fab Mancini's groups, and aligning with marketing, sales, online, brilliant masterminds and people like Russell Brunson, and aligning with huge, impactful leaders like Napoleon Hill and his foundation. And it's been an absolute honor, a blessing. I'm so grateful. I've been putting in the work, flying all over the country, and I made it back in time for Shay's baseball game on Sunday. After all of that, he had some really great hits. He's got a new team. It's a little bit older league, so he's adjusting to that, but he's still slugging the ball like crazy. And it's just been such a magical time. So that's the update. Keep it in short and sweet. I'll let you know more when I can about all this exciting things that are happening. But I just wanted to kind of give you behind the scenes on what is going on in the Miracle Plant and the 101 Hemp, and the mission to heal the world and reach 1 billion people by 2025. So thank you everyone for tuning in to the Miracle Plant podcast, and we will be sure to come back on Clubhouse at 10 a.m. Pacific time, so you can also join in and listen to the conversation as we continue to talk about this miracle plant, which includes mindset like we talk about our 5 health pillars, to make sure that you understand just how to live your best life. Those 5 pillars of health. And mindset and aligning with people in these masterminds is definitely part of it. So I'm so excited that you get to experience some of these things that I've had a chance to experience, to bring that to you firsthand. So thanks everybody for tuning into the Miracle Plant podcast. Be sure to tune in next week, 10 a.m. Saturday live on Clubhouse. We have some really cool guests that are joining us, some really big influencers, and we can't wait to share that all with you. So take care of everybody and be a blessing. Take care.
99.9% of our DNA is identical. It's a 0.1% that truly makes us different and unique. And that's what the show is about. Find out that 0.1% about your favorite guests. Find out what music they like, their first cannabis experience, and even what their room looked like growing up. But more importantly, or as important, their journey. Learn what makes them unique on Everything is Personal.